Hey everybody, welcome back. So this is the fourth and final part of the Cum Dungeon exploration for Bloodborne. This episode is going to cover the last three remaining side areas in the dungeon itself. This is the Layer 2 side area. It's the only one on Layer 2. It's the one right after you defeat the first boss. Now I was trying to lure this pig up here because down there where the pig is actually at, there's two sword guys. I don't know what they're called, but they can pose a problem if you try to fight the pig down there. Or if you're good enough, you can just have the pig, I think, run into them and kill them. For some reason, this pig did not want to chase me. Normally he'll chase you all the way up the stairs, like you'll see in just a minute here. So in order to record this last video, I actually had to go through the dungeon again, and in doing so, was able to get a little bit more arcane built up. I'm trying to get this character to where it has 99 arcane and 99 blood tinge. So I started using the Moonlight Greatsword, and this weapon is just fantastic. I'd never used it before because I've never really done an arcane build, but man, I love this weapon. You'll kind of see it in a little bit, but this is the area that connects to one of the other side areas that we were in. You'll actually see the pig where I fought in one of my previous videos that killed me by going through the door, like clipping through the door. I'm not going to do a whole lot of commentary on this video. I'm going to put some music over some of the parts, I think. But in general, I don't know much of what I can say that I haven't really already said in my previous videos. If you make it down to level 3, you can get some pretty decent items. Like you can get some yellow backbones from these guys if you want to come back and farm them. There are chests with red jelly. There are chests with ritual blood 5s. You can get tomb mold 5s here, and after going through this dungeon a bunch of times, I actually ended up amassing, I don't want to say the maximum amount of ritual bloods and tomb molds, but I got a fairly decent amount, and I realized that you can actually sell those for about 10,000 blood echoes a piece. So being able to sell all of these items that I had accrued just going through this dungeon a bunch of times, I ended up being able to get some pretty decent levels with those mixed with the actual echoes that you get from fighting all the enemies in this dungeon. I think that this does include the first boss of the dungeon, but I'm almost up to 1,000,000 blood echoes, and it really doesn't take a whole lot of time to go through this dungeon once you get used to it. Now, of course, it's going to be faster if you just continuously farm the top, and I also have 3 moon runes on right now, so I'm getting a whole lot more echoes than I normally would. I did cheese a lot of the enemies through here. Like this guy I just bring into the blades because I think it's hilarious to watch him fall off for one, but I do continue using Simon's Bowblade and a lot of the arcane range spells because I really wanted to cut down on some of the deaths that I might have going through these last parts of the dungeon. The video ended up being about 30 minutes long, so I didn't want to make it any longer than it really needed to be. I feel like I did pretty well in keeping most of these the same length, so I wanted to just keep that going with the fact that I was exploring 3 different areas in this particular video. So I think that's pretty much going to do it for the commentary that I'm going to throw over this. I'm going to throw some music over this, some of the Bloodborne OST like I did in my last video. Again, I just wanted to show off the dungeon and show what you could actually go and grab down here, what you could actually do in here, how many blood echoes that you could potentially get for actually challenging yourself to run through this dungeon. I found another dungeon that is a one-hit dungeon as well. It's got 4 layers, I believe, and that one is really fun to go through. So I will come back with that series eventually. The next Bloodborne related thing that I'm going to do is actually a playthrough of the game where I do an arcane build, because I've never done an arcane build before, and I'm having a lot of fun messing around with the Moonlight Greatsword. So I really want to do a full run of the game where I use arcane, because I've been having a lot of fun using it in these videos. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Reddit community tomb prospectors, I believe, because those are the people that have made these types of dungeons possible. They have full lists of areas that you can go to farm certain blood gems, certain weapons, all kinds of really great stuff on there. If you've never checked out the Tomb Prospectors subreddit, I would highly recommend doing so. There's a lot of good information on there. I would also like to address the concern that's popped up in a few of the comments on my videos asking about the nature of this being a hacked dungeon, whether or not you're going to get banned for going into it. As far as I'm aware, no one has ever gotten banned for going into one of these hacked dungeons before. There have been numerous dungeons online for years with cut content like cut enemies, cut bosses, and things like that. I mean, I don't think that there's any problem with going into any of these. Just be aware that there are some of those developer dungeons that you can get trapped in. So if you have a character that you're going in to some of those particular dungeons, then I would recommend backing up your save file. The particular dungeons that I'm talking about are specifically the ones that have cut content. They have cut rooms, I believe, and cut enemies, stuff like that. A lot of the times you can get out of those dungeons just by falling off of the world and kind of falling into the void, and eventually you will die, you'll reset, and you'll be able to go back to the Hunter's Dream. But I know of one that actually traps you inside of a boss room, and I wish that I knew which particular one that was so that I could put it in the description. If anybody does know which one that is, please leave a comment and let me know so that I can put it in the description, and that way hopefully nobody will go into that dungeon. I know it's one that you can search for and go into. I don't know why it's still available, but it is, so you just have to be aware of those particular things. I just think it's a good rule in general that anytime you go into any hacked things on this game, that you make a backup of your save file. But as far as getting banned, you're not going to get banned for going into any of these. You'll still be able to go online, you'll still be able to do PvP, all of that kind of stuff. No one has had any issues being able to do that whatsoever. And like I said, that's just what I am aware of. If anybody has had those issues, please let me know. But like I said, I've never heard of any, and I don't believe that there have been any that have popped up. This dungeon for sure is 100% safe. This is a great place to come and farm blood echoes with absolutely no effort on your part. As long as you stay in that first area where you just look to the left, the guy dies off screen, and you get 83,000 blood echoes. If you have moon runes, you're going to get even more blood echoes than that. Bold Hunter's Mark, back to the lamp, do it all over again until you are satisfied. Once again, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel so far. I really want to continue doing Bloodborne content, and I think it's great that everybody has enjoyed the videos that they have enjoyed on here. I've had a lot of fun making these. I've had a lot of fun talking to everybody about these. It's just been a really good experience so far. So stick around for my Bloodborne playthrough that's going to come within the next week or so. I'm having a lot of fun doing that one. I'm editing the videos right now to put them up. I had a lot of fun doing these. I can't wait to do the next series where I explore the next dungeon that I'm going to explore. And I hope to have everybody along for the ride on that one as well. Thank you again very much. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, dislike it if you dislike it. Please enjoy the last part of this video where I go through the other two side areas, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you for watching.